Oh, that was aggressive. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to go ahead and go through a little bit of an editing session. So not much talking is going to be done during this video aside from actually looking at a focused edit that I'll be working on. I just want to walk you through sort of my process overall. We're going to be using Photoshop today, so hopefully you find that helpful. And this is going to be one of the photos that I post on my Cool Nature Shiz Instagram account. I'll link that down below if you're interested in following. We're pretty much on Cool Nature Shiz. It's exactly what it sounds. It's Cool Nature Shiz. So going on hikes, seeing wildlife throughout the city. I dabble in that a lot, and I now have a dedicated Instagram account to it as well. So if you want to follow, I'd very much appreciate it. And we're gonna go ahead and just walk through the Photoshop editing process so you can check it out for yourself. Without further ado, let's pick our photo. All right, here are my gazillion hard drives. What do we got? So usually when I'm trying to like decide a photo, I'll go into this view right here and I'll scroll through like every single photo and mark and tag the ones that I like as red for wanting to edit. If I kind of like it, I'll mark it as yellow. And then if I really like it on the second pass, I'll mark it as red/green. Then after I do that, I sort of go ahead and set it up and I go back to this column view and I look and I know that this was a good photo that I liked. This was a good photo that I liked. This was another good photo that I liked. And then I sort of know, here's an example. I already edited this one and posted it on my Instagram. But you can see I put the red and green. So on the first pass I liked it, so it got red. On the second pass I liked it even more, so it got green. It's kind of winter time over here in Chicago, so I want something where I could play with more of a bluish color, but still looks realistic, doesn't look fake or anything. I kind of like this, just because I don't want to mark it as green and confuse myself. We're gonna mark them as blue. That's possibly playing with it today with our winter bluish tones that we want to do. Actually, yeah, that might be a good one right there. Okay. So I'm just looking around. Once again, these are all already tagged, but look around and like to take note of the inventory. This is a trip out to Brookfield Zoo that I did a couple months ago with my girlfriend. Several months ago actually with my girlfriend. Let's see here. I think we'll actually go with this photo. I think I like what I'm seeing here with this pic. All right, so here we are in Canon RAW. We have our basic adjustments here. So usually I'll just look at the white balance and see what it sort of recommends computer-wise. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. I think today I'm gonna personally, no, I think I'm just gonna leave it. Click O and U right here in our upper left corner. U shows what's underexposed. It'll highlight it in blue. O will show what's overexposed. Well, we don't have anything. Then from there, I'll just go ahead and fix our exposure. So highlights, once again, there really isn't anything. I mean, I'm gonna do the tiniest amount just to bring a little bit of detail from those rocks. And then the nose right here back in, but there's not much here. Really what we're gonna have to do is boost these shadows. Do that. How's white look? Put the white down, boost this black. There we go. So now you can see boosting our blacks and boosting the shadows here. I sort of like this. I like how it's bringing back these trees a little bit. We're getting a little bit of texture right there. All our, once again, click U. We don't have any underexposed stuff that is getting lost and no detail. So we got a nice sort of flat image right here. Now, every now and then I might go ahead and actually mess with the texture, clarity, dehaze, contrast in here, especially if I'm trying to do a quicker edit or a batch of photos, I'll edit that stuff in here and apply it to all images. But since we're only focusing on one picture today, I'm actually just gonna throw this into Photoshop and do most of the stuff that I want in Photoshop. So hit open. Okay. And what I always like to do is just create a master layer, then edit, and the edit layer right here. So I'll blind that one. And that's just so that anything we change here, if we sort of end up not liking it, if we mess it up too much, we always kind of have a safety right here. We could go back to this master and start from scratch. That's an old trick I learned back in college. Okay, so what do we want to do here? I feel like, let's see, I might want to adjust this a little bit. Does that look more straight? Yeah, I think I like that. Redo the crop. Yeah, so that just makes this, our lines a little bit more straight and leveled throughout. Everything's going to be kind of all over the place, but you can see the ground here is leveled. The fence in the middle is more or less leveled. And so I like that. The feet don't look like they're slanted at all, so that looks good as well. We're just gonna go ahead and start with boosting our brightness and then adding some contrast. And then what I like to do from here is actually invert this mask and then bring out our brush tool. So right here, our brush tool, increase this size. Wants to increase with me. Come on, brush tool. We'll go ahead and just draw in, bring this down a little bit. Draw in that mask, like how we saw it. And this is just gonna separate our subject, being this fine stallion right here, from the background. And we're gonna go ahead and go over this another time to make sure that it's a little bit more accurate, but for right now it's kind of a rough overall outline. It should be good. So turn this off and you can see we're getting some of the stuff around our subject, but we'll go ahead and edit that. You can always hit Alt and click on your mask and that goes ahead and shows you what you have selected. So I'm gonna go back to our blacks to remove, and we're just gonna roughly outline this. Just trying to get the edges a lot more. Make sure it's a bit more accurate. How do we look at it? Alt. And that is looking a lot better. We got a couple little stuff down here. There we go. So that looks more or less like it's on our subject. Oh, save. You always want to make sure you save your files, because the last thing you want to do is have Photoshop crash on you and you lose absolutely everything. It's devastating. It's happened to me before. Don't let it happen to you. And now the good part about actually having this separation is now we have a difference between our subject and the background. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and manipulate and color and shade the front versus the back and try to make it look cool. This is all a little bit more subjective. You can sort of do whatever you want with it, but on the technical end, what you know is you just want to get that general masking out. Once again, Alt click. You want to get this general masking out area right here where you have the subject versus the background. The background's all black, so it's masked out, it's not being shown. Our subject is in white, it's being shown. Alt click, and you can see that right here. So you could actually go ahead and add another brightness slash contrast adjustment layer right here. Click Alt and drag, and now we can replace our layer mask. You want to click yes. Now we have pretty much a duplicate right here. So we have the same exact thing on the bottom that we have on top. You don't want that. Instead, what we want to do is Command and I for inverting, and now you can see we have the background selected, right? So that's the good thing, is you sort of got to do the hard work. You sort of got to do the, you know, by hand masking at first for the beginning, but once you have that, it's very easy to just copy and paste it and invert it, and now you have the background. So with that, we'll go ahead and bring it down a little bit, and I'll desaturate it a little bit as well. Every now and then I like to feather the background too, just a little bit. All right, so you can see there's that slight difference right there. And then once again, so we have some separation. So after that, I'll usually group these guys up, and I'll just put like bright real quick. And then I'll hit Command, Option, Shift, and E, which gives us an overall stamp and composition of everything that we just edited. And I'll usually name this like Comp 1, and then I turn off this layer. So we still have all the assets right here. If we want to edit them, we just click into this folder and we have access to them right away. And this will also come in handy later. You'll see as we go ahead and start changing the color, you'll see that we could reference these again and bring the layer mask back so that we don't have to do it all by hand again. But I'll go ahead and turn it off. Comp 1, I know that Comp 1 is the first comp, and what was changed from the edit was the brightness. But with that turned off, I could just sort of click like this, and we're already seeing a difference in our picture. This is the original image, this is the now. You see, so there's a little bit of a mood already being created here. So from there, I'll usually go to our selective color adjustment layer. And then, as I mentioned before, once again, go back to that bright folder. And in that bright folder, we have our mask. You can start with whichever one you want, but I'm gonna go ahead and just start with our subject, because I usually like to do that. Click and drag, Alt, click and drag, replace it, and boom, now we have it. So now we're back in business. We could go ahead and edit this. And we are editing not the background, but just our subject right here. Okay, so now this is all sort of subjective. It's kind of about wherever you want to take it. I sort of have an idea in mind based off some things I've seen on Instagram and whatnot. As far as like the direction that I want to take this, I like to leave the actual like animal pretty natural. I don't want them to look like a Pokemon or anything. But I'll get pretty creative with like the background and changing up the background and how that looks. But as far as the actual animal, I like to leave it more or less like how you would see it in real life, aside from just making it pop a little bit. See, so I don't like, kind of like I like how boosting the yellows right there. Yeah, I'm kind of liking that. So you just gotta play with the sliders and go ahead and give it a feel. I don't think we have any greens. Yeah, no we don't. So I don't think we have any cyan or blue really. So we could probably skip all that. I don't think we have magenta in play here either. Nope. Whites. Yeah, we have the nose right there and white. So I'm actually, just because of the way this is looking, I'm gonna pull the cyan back just a little bit. Okay. Neutral's where you could like play with it a lot. You'll see the biggest change, like look at that. Boom, boom. But again, we just kind of want it to look fairly natural. I think I like what adding black is doing for the fur. So let's do that. Yeah, no, bring that back. We'll leave that at like a 2. And then we come right here and I think I like that. So let's go ahead and see. This is our before, this is our after. Before, after, before, after. So you see the colors just pop a little bit more. They're still pretty accurate. There's nothing crazy going on as far as like turning this purple or anything. So it's still pretty accurate right here. Let's go ahead and save that in case Photoshop wants to crash and ruin our day. And then we're just gonna go ahead and add another selective color. Once again, we could go back to our bright layer right here, or because we have the mask, it's the same exact mask. Option/Alt, click, drag, replace, yes. And now here, once again, we will Command I. That gives us the background, and now we have access to changing the background. Notice how the background changes right here, but our subject stays the same. So we're gonna go ahead and mess around and tweak the background a little bit. So overall, what I wanna do is, again, I want the animal to look fairly accurate, more or less, but I don't mind getting a little bit creative with the background. It is sort of a winter time here. This wasn't shot in winter, so it was shot in summer. Obviously you can see there's like green in the back and stuff, but it doesn't mean that we can't just edit it to fit a little bit of that vibe. So what I wanna do is kind of have a warmer orange subject being isolated and popping out from a bluer, more coolish tone background. With that being said, we don't really have any red at play here, so we could skip that slider. I think we'll have some yellows in this grass, so let's see what this does. Yep, there it goes right there. Called it. We'll add some cyan. Let's see. Kind of like that. And again, this is all okay. So now we're getting into more of that coolish tone. I think I don't want to overdo it because it looks a little too fake, and I want it to look a little bit more natural, a little more realistic. We're definitely right here with the greens. We're gonna have a lot to play with. Add some cyan. No, I don't like that. Maybe that. Let's see that. Before, after, before, after. Okay, so once again, group these. I like to just call this colors. And then Command Option Shift E. We got our stamp. Call it Comp 2. Take away the colors, and now we can see before Comp 1, the edit, Comp 1, that's with the brightness adjustments, Comp 2, that's with the color adjustments, and we are moving right along. So from here, in general, I'll kind of look for, with my general color set and my general brightness and lighting set, I'll go ahead and look for like imperfections. We got a giant pile of poop right there that we're gonna go ahead and want to clean out. So take this, we'll select it, our little selector tool, our lasso tool, you hit L, you get the lasso tool, and you just want to circle the boo-boo. Okay, and luckily Photoshop has some great tools for us to use. Content aware fill here, and that should do the job for us. That looks great to me. Click OK, boom, the poo-poo is gone. There you go, poo-poo, no poo-poo, poo-poo, no poo-poo. Okay, and we'll save that in case Photoshop wants to crash and ruin our days. And I'll actually, this is just me being like super nitpicky, but I'll actually include that as like another substantial change. And I'll put it as Comp 3 right here, just to have it. Okay, from here it's just kind of tweaking it to your heart's content. Like I said, I sort of had a vibe already in mind that I want to go for. So I'm just gonna keep tweaking until I sort of see something that I like. But add a little quick vignette here. I don't think I'll like this though, but we'll see. That actually might be worth something. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and group these, and as I get towards closer to the end here, I just go ahead and name it miscellaneous. Once again, Command Option Shift and E. Hide that layer, comp 4. So we can see our differences from comp 4 to comp 3. Comp 2. Comp 1. Edit. Edit. Comp 1. Comp 2. Comp 3. Comp 4. So overall, that's what I'm going to leave this. We're going to go ahead and actually save that photo. I like it. I like it a lot. That'll be up on my Instagram later this week. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, I hope you found this helpful. If you have any tips and tricks that you'd like to offer me, leave them in the comments down below. I'm super interested in hearing them. And I hope you learned a trick or two that you could go ahead and incorporate into your Photoshop workflow. For me, that's about it. Once again, my name's Josue. I live in Chicago, the greatest city in the world. I'll see you on the next video. Take it easy.